Hello, beautiful people. So yesterday I organized my very first retreat. It was a full day yoga retreat to celebrate the Spring Equinox. And I'm going to tell you all about how it went. So I'm sitting right beside a river that is much louder than I thought. So I hope you can all understand me. But then again, this sound of the river back me is the perfect summary for Spring Equinox. So I think I'm sitting here just fine. So I actually have a big dream. And that dream is to bring people together on very important turns in the year. So that is the change of the seasons, there's the Spring Equinox, Midsummer, the Autumn Equinox, and also Midwinter. And actually also the 4 dates in between. So the 1st of February, the 1st of May, the 1st of August, and the 1st of November. So those are actually pretty important turnings of the year. And I have this dream to reconnect people with the yearly cycle. And this is how this idea grew of organizing maybe like retreats or events or something. And so I put my head together with some other very interesting people who live here in my area here in rural Norway. And we decided to organize our very first event on the Spring Equinox yesterday. It was marketed for people who live very close in the area because it was a one-day event. The whole goal was to really reconnect with what is happening energetically on this moment of the year and how can we start bringing people together again. Because we kind of forgot this. We used to, back in the day, we used to have so much celebrations and connection to and rituals and ceremonies around these important life events and yearly turning seasonal events, and we completely forgot about those things. So this was kind of the goal. Of course, it was also yoga, because a lot of us who are connected energetically or are interested in energetic work, in spiritual work, are drawn to more Eastern philosophies because there they have kind of kept this contact or this respect for the energy. And here in the West, here in Europe, we kind of forgot about it. So that is how most of us still relate to spirituality. It is through yoga and through these Eastern philosophies. And those are actually very useful. So we also incorporate a lot of yoga in this event. Now I'm going to take you through the days before the events, how I started preparing for it, the preparation, and then also the day, how the day went. And then you're just going to connect back to me right here at the end of the video, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how I evaluate the whole day. Because it was a really big learning school and it was pretty exciting from beginning to end. It was pretty stressful, it was pretty exciting, it was all the feelings when you're doing something new, right? So enjoy this video and please watch to the end so I can also tell you a little bit more about how I viewed the whole process. Today is the 19th of March and today I am preparing for my very first retreat in 2024. Now this Saturday on the 23rd of March I will host a full day retreat celebrating the Spring Equinox or Ostara, depending on which traditions you like to include in your practice. I kind of know already what I'm going to do during the whole day, so I actually need to prepare 2 full yoga classes. I need to prepare one that is going to take an hour and a half, which will be more like a yin-yang kind of class where we do I would say typical yoga practice, what you would have in your mind as a typical yoga class with asana and we're going to do a lot of breathing. And then the second class I'm preparing is actually a Kundalini class. So this one will be 2 hours, so it will be like we're doing a Kriya. I have kind of decided on my Kriya, but still I want to delve a little bit deeper into it. And then I'm also going to do 2 meditations instead of 1. I'm probably going to do like a self-love or a self-blessing meditation. And then we're also going to do a celestial communication, which in Kundalini Yoga is like a mantra meditation, but you will add movements or dance with your upper body. It is one of my favorite ways to meditate, and I love to include it, especially during like more special moments of the year, because with dance I don't know, you get so much deeper into this divine force, like the sacredness of the body. You integrate so much more of the divine in the body with dancing. This is the books I'm going to use. I have my notes here. What I already did, because part of the retreat is going to be a ceremony, I already like wrote completely out what I'm going to do in the ceremony. And for me, 95% of the work just happens in my mind. I will receive what I want to do, and it will come little bit and little bit and little bit. This particular ceremony, the big chunk of it just came at once, and then once I received all the little puzzle, like the pieces of the puzzle that is going to be fit into this ceremony, then yesterday I took some time to actually get it out. We're going to do an earth prayer. I wrote the prayer out, and then I also wrote out how we're going to end the ceremony. So what I'm doing now is just going through some movements, and hopefully also be able to completely write out, especially the first class I'm going to give of the day. And then I'm also going to delve a little bit more deeper in the Kundalini practice. I kind of decided on those, but I still really want to go through it. And then in the coming days, like Thursday, Friday, I will probably go through these yoga classes and meditations a few times, just because, one, I don't want to keep looking at my notes, so it's partly just to memorize things so I can focus on being present and not just having to look constantly at my notes. And also secondly, because I want to just feel more into the practice, so I can give the right cues, I can better give through the right energy. So yeah. It's actually a lot of preparation. I'm super excited because I think it's so powerful to honor the yearly cycle within us, like the nature cycle within us. Because to be honest, I'm learning so much through it, and it is so wonderful to take other people with me on that journey. But at the same time, it is pretty scary. It is pretty scary you actually have to open yourself completely up as a person to actually let the information come through and actually host these people. Like it's a really vulnerable and authentic thing, but it brings me so much closer into contact with myself. So I don't know, maybe it's a very egoistic thing to kind of organize these events. It's a big learning school, that's for sure. Enough talking for now. I will take you along. I will just let the camera running here. Yeah, let's see what's happening. I just arrived at the location. I'm going to set up everything today. We are the day before the retreat. It's Friday. It will be a whole afternoon work to set everything up. My car is full of stuff.
I have a lot of things with me, and luckily it stopped raining. It was raining so badly the whole morning, so I'm very happy I can bring my stuff inside when it's not raining. It was a bit of drama actually yesterday and the day before, because I had a few people registered, and then I had some people who cancelled again, and then we ended up being such a little group that caterer I was going to work together with, that she didn't want to cater for such a small group because it was not so good for her, and I completely understand this. But that meant that I suddenly had to solve a really big problem yesterday evening. I either had to cancel the whole event or I had to find food. And then I'm very lucky that my husband is going to help me out. Actually, we're going to make all the food ourselves. That means we have a lot of cooking to do today because it has to be up to standard, obviously. And I had to buy a lot of extra stuff today. I had to buy like snacks and drinks and fruit and like a lot of things. So that's another thing I'm going to deal with today. Otherwise, I'm looking forward so much. I'm also a bit stressed just because of the logistical problem and the change in events. But otherwise, I'm very happy. This is the event location. It's a very beautiful old Norwegian house. Look how beautiful this door is. So this is the area. So I managed to get everything inside. Tomorrow I will bring some more stuff, and my husband is coming with some more food this afternoon as well. And then Julia is now on her way with more yoga equipment. All right. So I think I am ready. I will just walk around like 8 times around the house just to check. But I think I'm ready. Let me just show you. Let me turn the camera. All right. So here I have some fruit. Some fruit for snacks. Some fresh herbs we're going to use with the food. Then we have some nut butter, some local honey. Then I have a lot of dried fruits, some chocolate snacks, some nuts. And then I made a big pot of soup, like you just saw. It's pea soup for lunch. And then Kun, he made 2 big pots of like chickpea curry. That we're going to have for dinner. We're going to make a big pile of rice together with it. I'm also getting some bread for it, so we can eat it with both the soup and with dinner. Afterwards, I ordered at the bakery, so I'm picking it up tomorrow morning. Then I have some local apple juice. It's apple juice and some milk. Maybe someone wants milk in their tea or coffee. I will bring some almond milk as well tomorrow. I have some margarine. So yes.
Under the light of the nearly full worm moon, the day came that we gathered to celebrate the beginning of spring. We focused on connecting the body and soul to the water and earth element, to reconfirm our connection to nature. Spring Equinox for Ostara is actually all about surrendering. Surrendering to the flow within us. Surrendering to the path that leads us by and through the earth. Yes, the terrain ahead of us is often not an easy stroll, but we take it nonetheless. Water doesn't doubt itself. Water doesn't think about the road to come. Water just flows. It surrenders to the terrain. A flower doesn't doubt itself, even though it is hard to break to the ground. A flower lives to its fullest potential. There is no doubt. I am not in doubt. I am brave enough to bring to the world that has grown in me, that I will live through the coming 6 months. I surrender outward. The most important part of the day was the Ostara ceremony. The rest of the day was just a preparation for it. We did the blessed water offering to the earth, grounded ourselves and reaffirmed our connection with an earth prayer. To Mother Earth, Father Sky, Sister Moon and Brother Sun. We felt the warmth under our foot soles and thanked for the day and for each other.
At du vil meditere, skrive et brev til en venn, arbeide kreativt eller legge merke til dine egne tanker.
Land of memories, blessed thoughts. Those who walked here before me left tracks. To see when I am ready. To see, to know when I am wise enough. To tend. It takes time to remember to leave a trail.
So to summarize, I actually had a really nice day yesterday. I enjoyed it so much. I think it was pretty perfect in the end about how this first event turned out, and it made me very excited to organize the next events. So it did actually everything it needed to do. It connected us to nature, it connected us to each other. It learned me a lot about how to organize things, how to market things. And it also learned me a lot about how to really deal with change in events, change in plan, how to play with like kind of how things turn out and how to go with the flow. Because like you maybe understood from the video, things didn't exactly go as planned, right? There was a lot of difficulties. Really the biggest difficulty of all was without doubt marketing. So I don't really have a big network, I don't really have a big publicum. So it was very difficult for me to get the words out. I also put some money in like Facebook marketing and Instagram marketing, but still very few people signed up. And this has to do with different factors. So first, we were pretty late out with the beginning of marketing, so we started marketing the event 6 weeks before, and we should do so much longer ahead. Then the second thing is I am still pretty new here, and it is a very close-knit, very small community here. And people are pretty skeptical about new things, and in general, when you live in a very small place and you are new, it can be pretty difficult to integrate in the community and get to know people. So people can be a little bit skeptical, not only about new people they don't really know that well, but also about new kind of events. And I don't mean this negatively, right? I just mean that there is a little bit of a difference between small villages and bigger cities in that aspect. So then I had that one going on. And then thirdly, it was my first like whole day event. So I didn't really have a lot of photos or videos or testimonials or reviews. I could show the world so that people would kind of trust it, if that is the right word to use, kind of trust it, and I could more have an estimation of, oh, maybe this is something for me. So I had all those things kind of working against me, but still I had some really amazing people showing up. So in the end, I had 4 people signing up for this event. Now 4 people, it does not sound like a lot. Originally, when we started planning this event, we were like, okay, the minimum amount of people has to be 7. And we started calculating, because it costs money to hire a location. It costs money to buy food. It costs money for catering. It costs money for people teaching. It costs money for supporting people. So in general, organizing stuff is a big cost. So then you have to kind of calculate how many people minimum have to sign up at which price for me to go through with the event without actually bleeding money. All right? And then we came to the conclusion, we need 7 people at this price. And then over the course of the few weeks, 5 people signed up. As soon as 1 person signed up, I was like, I cannot cancel this. Because if there is only 1 person wanting to do this with me and help me realize this dream, then I cannot cancel on them. And how is it possible for me to cancel this event? And then in the end, until 3 days before, we were with 5 people signing up. And then 2 days before the event, 1 person cancelled and I was left with only 4 people. And then the caterer I was working together with was like, I am really sorry, with 4 people, I'm just bleeding money if I do this. So I cannot help you. I was without caterer. I had only 4 people registered and I was like, what do I do now? Because at this point, I had to do a lot more work myself. I wanted to go through because I had to find food, right? And then also because I only had 4 people showing up, it was pretty expensive for me to go through. But then a lot of things turned in my favor again. So the event location, they were super nice to me and they said to me, okay, for this very first event, we can give you half price. So I was like, oh my God, yes. And then it turned out that my husband had a free day the next day, he had planned long before. And he was like, okay, I will help you out. So I had help coming in, both from the financial point as from getting an extra person to help me out. And then we brainstormed, and it was a bit of stress and a bit of drama that evening because I had to call a lot of people and it was a bit of stress. Then we made like a plan. All right, how are we going to find food? Right? I was like, okay, I'm going tomorrow to the event location because I had to set up the whole location. My friend, another yoga teacher, was going to help me, was coming along. And then I have to go to the shops, I have to buy a lot of snacks, fruit, dried fruit, some nuts, some chocolates. I'm going to make soup for lunch. I'm going to order some fresh bread from the bakery. And then my husband was, okay, I'm going to a different shop, I'm going to buy a lot of ingredients, I'm going to make us an amazing chickpea curry. And then we are going to do this, So on a Friday, we did all of the things until late in the evening, and then I had a little bit stress left because I was suddenly so busy with the logistics that I was like, oh no, I can't put enough time anymore in like what it's actually about, right? Like what we are going to actually do during those 12 hours that we are at the location. So then I was a little bit of, okay, let's manage this, let's go with the flow. And then Saturday morning came and the people came and we had such an amazing day. And in the end, I wouldn't have wished it any other way for this very first event because it was very much a learning experience. It turned out to be so beautiful. Everyone who was there was so perfect. I am so grateful for how it turned out. It was much better than the original idea we had in our mind of how it was supposed to be. And this, I realized, is exactly the energy we were also working with. We were working with surrendering into the flow of spring. How beautiful is this? Surrendering, having no doubt, because this is exactly what we worked with all day long, right? I have no doubt. There is no doubt I'm flowing. There is no doubt in how my being is going with the cycle of nature. I am not in doubt. And I can manage to flow with the terrain. And this is exactly what we did. So I am so grateful. Now I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it so much and I'm quite happy I also documented it. I look forward to organizing the next event, which will be Midsummer at exactly the same location with pretty much the same people helping me organize. And I might do something spontaneous for Beltane, the 1st of May. But we'll see about that. It is still pretty difficult for me to think long ahead, because what I have learned is right now I should actually be planning next year events. Not 6 weeks ahead, right? But still, I probably can't help myself. This is very much a learning experience. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you understood everything I said with the big noise here in the background, but the river is... Doesn't she sound beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Right? Then I will see you next time. Bye bye.